Hello everyone, welcome to my first impressions of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I'm sorry, the full title is LEGO Star Wars: The Force Awakens, yeah. LEGO Star Wars, man, it's a monster of a franchise. I used to actually own some of the original sets, and God, I remember playing the game way back, early 2000s, the prequel trilogy on a Macintosh, because this game was pretty much, these games have always been released pretty much all across, like, multiple platforms. And then the original trilogy came out, and that had, like, this huge impact. It built on a lot of the systems the original had. And then they bundled both games together into what's called the Complete Trilogy for PS3 and Xbox, and a bunch of other systems as well, eventually to PC. And it did a lot of cool things that, you know, gave it a little bit of extra content. It was a great package overall. I think that's the one a lot of people remember playing. If not, it was the original trilogy. It was a lot of fun. And then LEGO games kind of just blew up after that because they realized the popularity, and unfortunately it kind of got exploited where they were pumping out so many games. There was one more LEGO Star Wars game we got, LEGO Star Wars 3. It was based off Episode 3, and it was fine. It was trying to bring a lot of the old LEGO stuff back, and LEGO, I felt like, even to this day, like, they've been trying to improve and enhance things, and the LEGO Star Wars games, like the original trilogy and the first one, they're kind of products of their time, but they're still fun games, but they do have their flaws. And don't debate me on that, like saying like, oh, no, they have no flaws. Go back and play them. There are a couple glaring issues, but now we have LEGO Star Wars: The Force Awakens. And we're going to be having a look at that. So, after LEGO City Undercover came out, all LEGO games pretty much had voice acting, and a lot of people were worried that LEGO games, especially LEGO Star Wars, would lose their charm. I am happy to say that that is not the case. This is one of the best LEGO games I've played in years, and it combines a nice element of subtle humor the originals had, plus, like, actual good dialogue and writing, and just good writing that, like, actually makes you laugh. In fact, I've been giggling a couple times throughout this entire game. Some of it's actually pretty good. Alright, let's have a look at the options. So, sound effects volume. Could fit this all on one screen, I don't know why not. Music is on or off, it's a little disappointing. Control configurations, so you have to go to this with your keyboard and then select controller, which is weird, but once you get it set up like this, it's fine. You just have to switch back and forth. You can rebind all the buttons as well as the keys too, so that's cool. I'd like to point out that Battlefront doesn't let you do that, but LEGO Star Wars does. Yes. Also, aircraft in this game control way better than Battlefront. We may be making fun of Battlefront more throughout the video. Resolution options are great. This is just for the 16:9. A lot of options. Refresh rate's not showing this right now. I don't know why. It was before. Texture quality. This game actually looks kind of nice. Like, you think, like, oh, it's a LEGO game, whatever. It's actually decent looking. Now, at 1440p max settings, I get over, like, 144 frames per second, unless it was, like, basically Endor, which it was dropping, like, below 100, but that's fine, because there's a lot of stuff going on. You'd be surprised, like, everyone's like, oh, why, like, a LEGO gaming dropping in frames? That sounds terrible. Actually, some people don't notice that, like, LEGO, in general, the games have actually gone leaps and bounds over the years with, they're, like, just, like, graphically, like, lighting, reflections, textures, physics. It's using DirectX 11 right now. Some settings right here. Not too much, though, but that's fine. I imagine that you can run this game on very low-end hardware when you turn everything down. Although I do believe it is for PS4 and Xbox One, so... And I actually just didn't mean to go out of this menu. Menu transitions are a little lengthy.
Yep.
But ooh, look at this. Backgrounds. Alright, let's just continue. But actually, before then, let me address this really quick. Season Pass, downloadable content. Yes, there's a Season Pass for this game. It's only $10, and there's a decent amount of content in the game so far. It's only $40. So, when you count the Season Pass, that's $50. That's still $10 less than your average $60 game, so... And, like, I think it's still good value, and that's probably going to be for... The Season Pass is probably going to be for content that they're going to add later. I almost assure you that it's going to be Rogue One, so after that comes out, like, it's going to be more sense if you do the Rogue One content later. I'm just speculating here, but... Like, you don't want spoilers. It's like, people are like, oh, they should have included in the game. Yeah, let's include Rogue One content and possibly spoil a bunch of stuff. Or not. Like, you don't play it, and then you don't play it until Rogue One comes out, so... Like, half the content you don't even... Anyway. Sorry, there's a lot of people who would attack this game, and a lot of people who would defend it for really stupid reasons, and I try to be the middle in the debate. But anyway, welcome to LEGO Star Wars. So, there's a lot of good in this game. One of the good things is that you have a lot of hubs this time around. So, in the previous games, you only had a few hubs. Sorry, you had one hub, and that was where you had, like, all your characters walking around. Here, not so much, which I kind of miss, but you do have, like, you know, secrets and hidden bricks, and it is nice to, like, go to each hub and explore and get every little thing. That's cool. So, currently, we have to go over this way. We just got into the Millennium Falcon. By the way, guys, spoilers, Han Solo's in this movie. Seriously, though, I'm not going to be responsible for if you haven't seen the movie yet and you're going to get spoiled right now, because it's been out for, like, 6 months, guys. Now, you may notice that the character-specific actions, like the little contextual button presses specific to characters, has made a return. They've added some QTEs and some puzzles, which I'm fine with, but there is an abundance of them, including building segments. Oh, Jesus, what the hell happened there?
Can you hook it with your grapple fin?
Okay.
So, the strongest point in this game is the variety, but it's very formulaic, which is still fine. So, let's see if I can... So, you know, you have your characters that can do a variety of different things. So, for example, Finn here has the grappling hook, and you can grab stuff. Rey is like acrobatics, so she can get to certain areas. BB-8, you know, you saw him hacking a control panel there. What I do say is a bit of a disadvantage is that it seems that for, like, the local co-op portion of the game, like, you notice right here, I'm just playing by myself right now, like, and Rey can't even get in here, so I don't know what would happen in 2-player, but unless they literally clone my character, which feels like it wouldn't really add anything to the experience. Like, it does involve teamwork, but there's, like, simultaneously less of those opportunities per map, so I don't know, it's a little weird. Like, it feels like I'm playing, it feels like more of a single-player experience, but which is fine for people who play by themselves. It was kind of a pain in the ass in the original, because there was so many, like, you need another person to do this, and, like, with the AI, they're dumb as bricks, so you're gonna have to set them to do it manually. I guess that was, like, the draw of the original, like, it was more built for co-op. This game, not so much. Feels like just, like, a slap-in, like, LEGO games traditionally have this, which actually, LEGO City Undercover didn't have. Now, what's also returning is the character-exclusive areas that you cannot enter yet because you don't have that character. You have to play it in free play mode, which that's something I think needs to go away. Like, I understand, like, I like the idea of, you know, exploring a level and getting interesting secrets, maybe as, like, another character, but when you have this thing where it's like you need a very specific character, so you have to beat the level first before you can do that, that's annoying. LEGO City Undercover made sense because, you know, like other open world games, if you get items later on in the game, you can go back to certain areas, and because it was all connected, it was a lot more convenient. I like that. Here, it keeps that same thing, and, you know, a lot of people might still like that. I disagree. I think that was something that should have died when the LEGO games were moving forward. I haven't played a LEGO game recently, some of the newer ones, but mainly Undercover and Star Wars Episode 3, which, you know, had those same things, but again, Undercover did it a little differently. Now, overall in the gameplay, variety, I talked about that. So, characters are actually a little bit more fun to play this time around. You have a few extra attacks, which we'll look into right now. Let's actually just skip these cutscenes because... Actually, you know what? Let's watch this one because this will be the only one we watch. So, what's interesting about this game is the audio. So, I think the voice actors from the movie have actually... There's some new lines, but they rip a lot of audio directly from the movie. You can tell. Now, there's something with the sound consistency, which I agree with to an extent. All the lines sound like they were ripped from the movie.
Where are the others?
But, like, some of the lines are newly recorded.
You?
I stole it from Uncle Plot. He stole it from the Irving boys who stole it from Deacon.
Now, this is obviously directly from the movie.
Me. Well, you tell him that Han Solo just stole back the Millennium Falcon for good.
This is a Millennium Falcon. You're Han Solo.
Again, the charming humor is still there. I really enjoy it.
Don't tell me a Rathor's got loose. You're not hauling Rathors. Oh, great.
Now, one of the nice things about the original is that the cutscenes were very, very brief. And I think they're going for something different here. A lot of people might not like the cutscenes, like, being a little bit too long, especially when...
Stay there until I say so.
Again, I don't know any recent examples. This is, again, based directly off the movie. It's a movie license game. You have to expect them to, you know, follow the movie fairly well. Or not. They can do original things, but they're not doing that here. It's a style that they're sticking with. But I do think that it's fine for now. But I don't know about... You know, we could actually just skip this. Oh, no we can't. Oh, that's a problem. Okay. Can I hit it on the keyboard?
Tell that to Kanja Club. That BB unit. First order is...
So I can't skip. Oh, that's a problem. Okay.
Two fugitives.
So yeah.
If we close the blast doors in that corridor, we can track both gangs.
On a what?
Wrong fuse.
I'm sorry, I can't, yeah. And, like, if you've seen the movie, it feels... It's like, it's... You know, it's reenacted in LEGO, but I don't know if I want to see this multiple times. I imagine, hopefully in free play I can skip this, but I can't right now. And I understand, like, that's really annoying, though. No, that's really frustrating, because they should give you the option to skip it. And I understand people could accidentally skip it, because they're holding a controller full of buttons in their hands. But, you know, games have done this really well. Like, where they're like, Twilight Princess, not Skyward Sword. I'll talk about that, though. Twilight Princess, Legend of Zelda, had a cool idea, like, if you hit one of the buttons, then you hit minus, it'll skip it. Like, it'll give you a warning. Then Skyward Sword came out and like, no, people are gonna mess up or something. No, we need to actually just prevent you from skipping cutscenes. What is with this stigmatism? Like developers like are doing this like cheap way of getting as many hours out of their games as possible, even if it's boring or they don't want it, or if players don't want to see it. It's stupid. Anyway, kind of threw me off there. So, okay, here we go. So this is one of the new variety parts. So you may say this is just like a mobile turret section. I actually think it's kind of fun. So it's this cover segment. So right now we're in cover, and if you hit left trigger, you can look behind it and start shooting, and then you can duck. It's kind of cool. And in general, the combat has been improved. It's still the button mashy kind of combat we know and love, but you know, they add more variety through ship combat. In fact, I think every level's had some kind of ship combat. Yeah, pretty much. Every other level. And it's a lot of fun. The beginning is actually the prologue. It's on Endor, and you get to revisit, like, the exploding of the Death Star, and you hear good old Lando again. It's nice. I liked it. I liked the overall package. It was, you had vehicles, you had starships, you had lightsaber fights. It was cool. Another mechanic is, you know, you can roll now, and you may be noticing at the top left there's actually a... Actually, not paying attention here. Whoops. Almost, like, went to my death. So, like before, you know, if you lose all your lives, you respawn immediately, but you lose some coins, and you can still... You know, there's still a whole system of unlocking stuff through getting a bunch of coins. And, of course, most important thing in the world, secrets are back, and yes, folks, you do not need to buy DLC for cheat codes. It's great. I love it. Right now I can't set it to that, though. I don't know why. The red bricks you would use. Let's see. Oh, here we go. No? Doesn't he have the gas mask on? Oh, wait. Oh, that's the animation, I'm sorry. Alright, so the top left there's two bars. The one on the very top is a bar for damaging troops, or is when you do damage, that bar fills up, and then when it fills up to its maximum, you can hit B and you can do a special attack and basically like clear the stage of all enemies. It's cool. And the bottom one is actually really interesting because it melds the gameplay a lot better. Because the problem with the original... I'm trying to figure this out. I'm not very good at... still not good at, you know, commentary and playing games. But anyway. So, the problem with the original games is that... The problem with... As I failed this thing. The problem with the original games was that, like, killing enemies was, like, nothing. Like, the enemies with their own entity, they do damage and they only drop health that you recover because they damaged you. Now, what they do is they fill up that second bar down there. And what that does is that it increases the value of gems that you pick up, or coins, whatever you want to call them, like a little bits, these things, that increase value. That's a great way of saying, like, hey, you're going to kill these dudes, and now we're going to reward you with a bonus, or dying like that, because I'm bad. Never claimed to be good at video games, guys. Don't judge too much. But I really like that. And in general, the pacing and just everything has been better. The originals had a problem as well with certain characters. Like, the characters feel a lot faster. They feel like doing things in the game, like building or using the force, whatever, feels just more responsive and quicker. Feels like there's a lot less downtime. It was frustrating in the original games when you had to use a slow character to move and, like, set something up and then use another... So, again, like, this whole idea of doing the cooperative thing. Setting everything up or, like, hitting contextual buttons. And even though here you have quick time events, you have little puzzles, it's still faster than the original, because, like, all these characters seem to have gotten a speed boost. Animations have been tightened up. Animation quality in general is just a lot better. Again, going back to the whole, you know, graphically, like, through, like, an engine standpoint. I'm trying to think of the word. Yeah. Can't think of it right now. Like, technically. A technical aspect. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I know how to words. Speaking of technics, a couple things you need to be aware of. So, it has Steam achievements and controller support, obviously, but there's no Steam Cloud, which is a thing that these games have been doing a lot recently. The LEGO games, they don't have cloud support for some... It's just annoying. I feel like every game on Steam should have cloud support.
I'm just happy it did. Unless you want to be an appetizer for a rat card.
So yeah, there are more scripted events. Well, actually, I don't think there was any in the originals, but there are scripted events, but they can still be fun. It is formulaic, but that's fine, because it still can be... There we go. Oh, Jesus. But it still can be a lot of fun, and that's the strongest point about this game, is that it's fun. Let's see if we can get to, like, a TIE Fighter segment here. I want to do at least a space battle, because the space battles were actually fun. They're the best that they've ever been. In fact, pretty much everything, and this is to be expected for every game, and I don't like praising... It's weird to praise a game and be like, oh wow, it's such a cool thing for a game that's a sequel to be better in every way. Like, that's what you should expect, right? For the sequel to be an improvement. And that's a thing that's just kind of been lost recently. Like, games seem to be getting shorter, or they've been ripping out content, and, you know, the original still has some value to it, and I don't think this game is super perfectly perfect compared to the originals. Obviously, it is a bit more linear. Obviously, there is going to be less content than the original trilogy, but that was basically 2 games. But length of levels is pretty good. It's paced out properly. The one thing I do have a problem with is that there's still no quick save function, which was always a problem, and it's still... there's no excuse for it to not have it. It's current year, guys. Current year. Let's see if we can try to get out of here. In general, the controls are a lot tighter. There's a lot here that makes it an overall better package. I didn't realize I had BB-8 with me. There we go. Yes, the scripted segments, the cutscenes, and, like, you know, the extra animations here and there do pad the game out a little bit. What the hell? Oh. Didn't mean to... Okay. I've never seen this before. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay, I got it. I love this elevator Star Wars music. It's part of the subtle Leto Lego humor that's kind of been lost in some games, but I'm glad it's back here. Again, sometimes some puzzles, they don't work as well as some others. Like, this is a little bit... Like, this is kind of cool, but... I wonder how many times I'm going to see this in the game, and I really hope it doesn't kill the pacing later levels. This is about several hours into the game.
We're gonna need a new one.
It could turn terrible in the latter half, but again, this is a first impressions series. We don't worry about that too much. And my first impressions so far are... pretty good. I think very highly of this game. I think there was a lot of effort, and I think the effort is just... It just feels like a genuinely well-made game, and I rarely say that nowadays. Feels like there was a lot of love put into this. You know what's funny? This game actually came out the same day as The Technomancer, which I feel like, for some reason, can be a cult hit. You can kind of tell with some of these games lately. You know, it's got good controls, it's got some good elements going for it, but to me, it was just pretty boring. Like, it felt like a poor man's Bioware. Is it weird that I'm like, that game costs almost as much as this game does, and yet I'm having more fun with this? I don't know, maybe I'm just a sucker for these scripted sequences, but they're fairly well done. And I can see that hurting the replayability, just like I said with the cutscenes, but it's weird. Like, this is a movie license game, but it did have plenty of time. I don't know, man.
I see a bulkhead up ahead. Keep running.
The originals didn't have to rely on this, but I still, like, my first time around, I'm having more fun.
It's you.
Whoa! Stop me!
Okay, what do I do? Oh, first off, there's stuff over here. It's like, while my friend is screaming in agony.
Tie up that tentacle.
Oh, we gotta do that up first. So you can build them from, like, multiple, like, at different places, so that's kind of an interesting way they extended the levels without, like, adding more, like, land. Like, what they would do is they would add multiple puzzles and you would have to build and break stuff, so it can be a little bit repetitive, and again, the thing is with a lot of modern games is that, and I'm going to be harping on this for pretty much the entirety of the channel, so, you know, you can expect more of this, but the problem with a lot of modern games is that you're kind of doing a lot of the same thing over and over again in one level, so the replay value is already lost. But this game, again, has very good Lego variety. Level variety. Excuse me. That's just horrible. Oh my god. Let's just get out of here so I stop stuttering and I can show you guys the Starfighter segments, because they're actually kind of fun.
In there voluntarily. Get the door shut.
Thanks. Can we get off the ship now?
Yeah, through there.
Trying to skip. Don't blame me for this video being so long. Blame the game. Like, we could have at least cut it down by 5 minutes. Come on. Oh, there we go. Now I gotta switch. In some of the older games, they actually did it automatically, which is a little weird this time around. They still, like, even when you set them up for certain puzzles, sometimes they follow you back down and, like, they get out of position, which can be a little annoying. Again, they're still trying to appeal for, like, the people who like co-op for that value proposition. And I feel like Undercover, like, broke those shackles, had no co-op whatsoever, and it was a better game for it. Even though it was a completely different genre. It would have been cool to run around open world. I mean, again, these are more linear. As I knock shit over. Sorry, it's like 100 degrees in my room and I had to take off, like, my headset.
Boss fight? Gonna have to build a bigger weapon.
Whoa!
Oh, we got a build.
I really wish you hadn't been harming Rathgar.
Yeah, well, we've all learned a lesson.
Yeah, fairly likely levels, which is, again, a shame that they didn't add in, like, a quick save, because I would love to just stop this level and show you the Starfighter segments. But we don't have that. And I'm actually worried we're going to have to do some kind of turret segment, which there are several of those. There are several turret segments in this game, but they're very brief. Some of them are a little bit different, like, you know, it's not just the same kind of turret segment. Like, a lot of people don't realize, like, when they hear turret segments, they think of just like, oh my god, blasphemy, turret segments. But there's different ones. You know, sometimes you'll use lasers, and it'll be a fast-moving turret, and other times, or like a mobile turret, and other times it'll be like a stationary rocket turret.
I'm a smuggler. What do you think?
There's major differences.
Delivery control panels is up there.
Now you gotta move this one a little bit slowly. Sometimes the QTE changes up, like sometimes you have to hold it in a certain direction, other times you have to shift it around, and there's a delay in the, like, prompt. You know what, I'm gonna just forgo this. We're going to show you guys the Starfighter segment, because I don't want to kill too much of your time. I know I can edit this out, but yeah, it's a little annoying, especially since, again, no quick save.
There's a
I think it's over there.
Since it's right, again, there's a save, like, within the, we can actually just show you the hub world now. There's a save within, like, this map thing, but yeah, it's a little annoying, because like, you have it in the hub worlds, but why not? Yeah. Let's go to the school y'all on where to go. Let's go to Jakku, and or actually, can we even do the segments? Yeah, I think we can. Yeah. Alright, cool. Let's just do Death Star attack. You could, of course, like, it doesn't really matter here, because we have, oh, well, actually it does, sorry. So, yeah, some of these guys do have buffs and stuff, but, like, not really in ships, like, I guess. I spoke a little too soon. It is nice that it shows that there. Yeah, and you could also pick your ship, too, so you don't have to use the Millennium Falcon like in the original. And there's the classic one, there's the movie version. Let's do just the X-Wing. Thank God we could skip. Okay. So, yeah. Ship combat is pretty satisfying. Flying around really fast is cool. There's a lot of free-flying segments, and there's a lot of, you know, scripted, on-rails flying segments, and again, that's the best, you know, the variety is strong with this one. It's an overall a great package, I'd say. $40 gets you a decent amount out of the box. You got local co-op, as always. You have some, you know, great effects, actually. The best effects, folks. And don't we love our effects, folks? Don't we? It's an overall well-rounded package, and I recommend it. Like, if you want to, like, you know, spend $40 on something that'll keep you entertained, give this game a shot. You know, yes, it is casual, but it's casual in the good sense. There is a lot of merit to this game, and it's, you know, it's keeping what a lot of LEGO games have lost over the years, which is just consistency, good level design, good variety in gameplay, because when you have a very simplistic combat system, you need to balance it out with something else, and here it's doing its best. You know, humor and good variety, and again, the package is pretty nice. Especially if you get it on sale. If you can get this game for like 15 bucks like I did, through legal keys. I just got a little bit of a discount, but if you can get it even cheaper, it's an even better value. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. I'm out.